Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel where today we'll be going over the Packers week 15 victory over the Seattle Seahawks last night on Sunday Night Football, where they went into Seattle and took the Seahawks to court on their own stadium. It was a completely dominant performance for the vast majority of the game by the Packers on both sides of the ball. And we'll get into it right after this. Just please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. That will mean a heck of a lot to me here as we get towards the end of the year. So I was going to get started here with the scoring breakdown for the Packers. Started off in the first quarter with a 1-yard Josh Jacobs touchdown run to put the Packers up 7-0. And then later in the first quarter, Romeo Doubs caught a 13-yard pass from Jordan Love where he literally dragged a couple of defenders into the end zone for Green Bay to go up 14-0. Then in the second quarter, Seattle got a 48-yard field goal to make it 14-3. Packers answered with 2 field goals of their own remaining in that second quarter with a Brandon McManus 39-yarder and a McManus 21-yarder as well to go 20-3 at halftime. Then in the third quarter, Seattle kicked a 45-yard field goal to be down 20-6. The Packers answered with their own field goal, a 23-yarder by McManus for a 23-6 lead for Green Bay. Seattle brought it within 10 with 11 minutes left in the fourth quarter with a Zach Charbonnet 24-yard touchdown run. But then the Packers, Romeo Doubs caught a beautiful pass from Jordan Love, a beautiful catch in the back of the end zone, 22 yards, 30-13 Green Bay, and that would be the final score of the game. For the Packers, team stats, let's go over that first. Packers 21 first downs to 14 by Seattle. Yards 369 to 208. Drives 12 each, but yards per play 6 for Green Bay, 3.7 for Seattle. Beat them in both passing and rushing. More efficient in the red zone. Less turnovers in them. Penalty yards. Is there penalty yards anywhere? I don't. Oh. No, that's not penalties. Penalties. 5 for 27 Green Bay. 5 for 108 for Seattle. And 7 sacks given up by the Seahawks versus none for the Packers. So, overall, just great game by the Packers. 32 minutes for the Packers possession, 27 for Seattle. And you look at the stats here. Jordan Love had a really solid game. 20 for 27, 229 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interception. Was not sacked once. Good job offensive line. Shout you guys out here. QBR of 90.1 and pass rating 123.8. This is his 4th game in a row without having any turnovers. Toyotathon Jordan Love is back, and for the rest of the NFC, they better watch out because this Packers team is really starting to heat up here. So, yeah. Rushing. Jacobs, 26 for 94, 1 touchdown. Was really effective in that first half, particularly in that first half where the Packers just used him to pound Seattle. But second half, his effectiveness kind of slowed down. Something to keep an eye on for the rest of the year. But still, very solid day in the office from Jacobs. Jaden Reed, 3 rushes for 27 yards on jet sweeps. Got a couple of first downs off of them. He had a really good day as well there. Leading receiver was Christian Watson with 3 for 56, no touchdowns. Jacobs 4 for 42, really active in that pass game. Dobbs, first game back from concussion, 3 receptions, 40 yards, 2 touchdowns. Kraft 2 for 34, Reed 5 for 34, and Wicks 2 for 14. But what we really need to talk about is this defense, as they absolutely made both quarterbacks for Seattle completely uncomfortable. Edgerrin Cooper, first game back from injury, showed why the Packers need to play him more. 7 total tackles, 6 solo, 1 sack, 2 tackles for loss, 2 pass deflections, 2 quarterback hits, and had an interception in this game. Absolutely dominant performance from Cooper, who is one of the best blitzing linebackers in the league and could be a stud in the future for Green Bay. Kingsley Enagbare, 5 total tackles, 5 solo, 2 sacks, 3 tackles for loss. There's a Seattle 3 now where he had 2 sacks on a TFL that completely ruined that drive for them. So good job from Kingsley Enagbare. Keyshawn Nixon had a tackle for loss on the screenplay, really good there. Evan Williams made some good plays. Quay Walker did leave the game with an ankle injury. We'll wait to see on updates from him. Carrington Valentine had a great game. 3 tackles, 1 solo, 2 pass deflections. Did have an interception in the end zone as well. His first career interception. Rashawn Gary had a sack. Brendan Cox had a sack. Devontae Wyatt had a sack. Carl Brooks had a sack. Kenny Clark had a pass deflection and a QB hit. Got some good pressure up there as well. So overall, great performance by the Packers there. Cooper, 1 interception, 22 yards. Valentine, 1 for 20. Keyshawn Nixon, 3 kick returns, 98 yards. average of 32 yards, so pretty good there from Nixon. McManus, perfect on kicks again. Absolutely incredible for him. Whelan had a bit of a rough game, had a couple of rough punts here, 4 for 170, average of 42.5, but did have one touchback as well. So I'm going to do something new here, go through my 3 stars of the game, kind of like how hockey does it, where the first star is like the best player of the game, second star and third star, so on and so forth. So my third star has to be Romeo Doubs, as in his first game back from injury, played absolutely fantastic. Caught a couple of amazing touchdowns, show the chemistry that he has with Jordan Love. I expect in the future of the rest of the season, he's going to be a big part of the Packers passing offense. My second star today, Jordan Love, had one of his most efficient games of the season. Honestly, carved up this Seattle defense pretty good, and we really didn't need him to as well, which is great. About 2.5 stars goes to the offensive line for keeping Jordan Love clean, but he made some incredible movements in the pocket, incredible throws as well. Just, yeah, great game from Jordan Love. And my first star, the star of the game, Edgerrin Cooper, made his announcement that he is a dangerous defensive player on SNF. I mean, look at this. 6 total tackles, 1 sack, 2 tackles for loss, 2 pass deflections, and an interception in your first game back. Yeah, Edgerrin Cooper is a stud, and the Packers need to play more down the stretch. We'll see how Quay Walker's injury goes, but yeah, Cooper is fantastic. So take a look here in the standings for the Packers. Don't really have a chance to win the division. Detroit's 12-2, Minnesota's 11-2. We're 10-4. So we're most likely going to be the 5th or 6th seed, depending on how Minnesota and Detroit do the rest of the way. But this is a dangerous Packers team. In our past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, we're 8-2 in our last 10 games. Only 2 losses are to Detroit. That is pretty darn impressive. Next up, we got the Saints on Monday Night Football. And that's the game the Packers should be able to win. The Saints are not a good team. They were at Minnesota. That is going to be a key game. And then home against Chicago. Yeah, the Packers are pretty much going to be in the playoffs. And they are a dangerous one to look out for in the playoffs. So, yeah. Overall, very, very impressive win against Seattle. A couple of studs showed up today. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.